I understand that you're having an issue with your boyfriend.
Yeah, I am. So we've been dating for 3 years, and, it's 3 years, so there's lots of good moments, bad moments, I'm sure, But I really just think that we could be together forever. He's comfortable, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So 3 years together, you see a future. So, but you're calling us because there's an issue. So what's the issue?
Yeah. Well, 2 years ago, I cheated on him, and which I feel awful about. But it was one night. I never did it again. It was at a work conference, and it was like this happy hour and a dinner. And honestly, I was drunk, and I don't want to give an excuse about it. But it's honestly my biggest regret, and I don't think it was really had any meaning to it. And I told him about it, and I thought we worked through it. And he did forgive me, but it didn't come up again because it's not something I really want to bring up.
Right. And in fairness, if you guys work through something and then there's forgiveness, you don't get to just throw that in there. It's not like every year when you guys get in a fight, a big blowout. And by the way, when you cheated on me, because it's like, if you really forgave me, then we don't get to just keep, And I'm sure some men, but in my experience, women are very, very good at keeping an inventory of all the things I've ever done that upset you so that we can bring them all up as bomb, boom. Everyone's like, oh, really? You think you won this one?
Yeah.
Remember that time you cheated on me? Boom. Mm-hmm. You remember that one time it was my birthday and you gave me a suitcase 2 weeks before and you didn't give me a gift on my boom. Anyway, so, okay. All right. So, it was forgiven, but...
Correct. That's what I thought.
Why are we talking? Yeah.
Well, 3 months ago, he came clean that his work wife scenario that he has with his wife, or work wife, and not me, that it's been a bit flirty and the texts had been kind of intimate, and that they also made out in his car one night.
Oh. And the work wife thing, so this woman is on his team or sits next to him or has an office next to him, or you've heard this husband work wife thing, which I don't really love. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a little icky to me.
Yeah, I don't love when people brag about
I'm
that.
I'm not your wife. This woman's not your wife.
Right. Right. I mean, you're basically saying to me when you say that, I spend way more time with this person and get along with them most of the time better than you. You know what I mean? It's
I've also known him for longer. Right. She just joined not so long ago for work.
It's like, we ain't equal, okay? We ain't equal. I got to sleep in bed with you and listen to your farts or whatever. And this lady, you know what I mean? So, we ain't equal. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this dude's having... It got inappropriate. Now, is that as far as it went? They just kissed, or was it more?
Well, he said that there's no more contact between them. I don't know. I mean, they work together, but he says that there's none. Just that I think it's wrong. And
so did he leave jobs or something? Because how is it that they don't have contact if they work together? How was he able to cut her off, I guess, is my question. He was able to cut it completely off?
He says that he's actively avoiding her. Okay. But I genuinely, I'm not in the office, so I don't know. I don't have a camera in the office watching.
All right, so we're going to take him at his word, I guess, then. I guess. So you did your deal, and I guess you moved on. He had this inappropriate thing with his coworker, and he claims that he has boundaries, and he came to you to come clean because he knew it was inappropriate. Okay, so I assume then you're going to show him the same grace, right?
Yeah, but he's saying that what he did was wrong, but what I did was worse, and that it's incomparable, and that it's not even really bad what he did, and that I don't really deserve a full, true apology because what he did wasn't so bad comparatively, and it's kind of keeping score. It's just very tit for tat to me. You know what I mean?
So because you had a full-on sexual, I shouldn't say relationship, experience with another person years ago, now this thing that he did, in his opinion, is not so bad. And it's you should get over this quickly because, you did this to me.
Right. So if you made out with her again, is that okay, or if he makes out with somebody else, it's okay because I slept with somebody. That doesn't feel good to me, especially since we talked through it and there was apologies made, and it's never happened again and it never will. So I don't like it.
And you're finding in his sort of, I mean, he did come clean to you and ask for your forgiveness, I guess, but you're finding his kind of laissez-faire attitude like this. But it was nowhere near as bad as what you did, which I don't know. I might argue, and this may be unpopular, but a one-off physical interaction while drinking with a dude, at a work conference that you've never seen again, that might not, I mean, it's bad, but I might argue that an ongoing emotional affair with someone you see every day, that's almost deeper and in some ways worse. Now, I know that we're not keeping score here, but for him to be like, mine's not as bad as yours, I don't necessarily think that's true.
I don't either, but I also don't want to keep score. I don't think that works in a relationship.
And so what are you wondering here? Like, can I stay with a guy who this is how we're going to do stuff? Like, or I guess my other question would be, as long as he doesn't sleep with someone, is everything he does that's not nice to you or not good for the relationship, is he going to throw that one out? Is he doing the thing I was just talking about?
My birthday, would he say, oh, well, you slept with somebody?
Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten with that guy at the work conference in Wichita.
Saying, oh, well, you slept with somebody. I don't like it.
Girl,
because it can be pushed to something further. And then if I make a small mistake, is he going to say, well, let's think about when you slept with somebody. I guess this mistake's not so bad, but it's piling up. I don't like how it
sorry,
feels.
I left the towel on the ground, but you shouldn't have slept with that guy 3 years. It's like, and you're right. But at the same time, if you're going to move on, then you got to move on. And I know that's easier said than done, much easier said than done. But if that takes months or years or whatever it is, fine. But I think once you get to the point in a relationship where you guys have moved past whatever the issue is, so long as that behavior doesn't return, then we're done with that. We worked through that. You cannot just continue to bring that up. And it sounds like, as opposed to just taking complete ownership of what he did that was wrong, it's, well, I know it was wrong, but yours was wronger. Which I don't know. I might argue his was worse.